Hello everyone, this is Ava from Soul GPS. Welcome. This is part 2 of the series I'm recording here about how narcissists use words in order to manipulate their targets. This video is about covert blaming. Covert blaming is where the narcissist or any other form of predator is playing the victim card. They want you to feel bad about what you're doing, even though they're the ones doing the bad thing. It's also a form of projection, and they often mix that with shaming and guilt tripping. The aim of covert blaming is to manipulate your reality so you buy into their perspective. They buy into seeing the world through their lenses, which is that they're perfect and you're the bad person. It also allows them to take no responsibility for their actions, which is generally what narcissists want to do. They want to have a free pass to do as they please and carry no consequences. So they want to project their thinking onto you so that you look at things from the perspective that they want you to see it, which is skewed, and it comes from dysfunction. It comes from a deep fracture of their personality, which at their core is not sound. It's a form of hijacking your empathy. So this is where your conscientiousness is going to be used against you, because people who have conscience, they tend to question themselves and they tend to be open to, shifting perspectives. Often these kinds of people, and that's been me too, we are prone to not being fully grounded in our own truth and reality. It's something we need to work on. And instead we can sort of project our own sense of self, our own perspectives, our own minds onto other people, because we want to see it the way that they do. Since we want to be helpful, we want to, we want to have a broad perspective and approach a situation the best way we can. And it's a good skill to have, but it can be easily abused. And in this case, it definitely is easily abused. So because it's being used to make you feel bad about a situation, as opposed to being helpful and enriching your perspective. So that's the difference. You can tell pretty easily that you're being manipulated with covert blame if you're just feeling really bad inside. So one of the most extreme forms of covert blaming using words would be a look at what you made me do, right? It's they do something really horrible that is appalling. It rightfully so sends all the alarm bells, and then they will just turn around and say, this is your fault, you made me do this. And it can happen also after a physical abuse. I've heard many stories when that was the case, is when somebody got hurt or raped or beaten up, or something really bad happened, and it's like, oh, that's you made me do this. And then they tend to turn around and begin to give you this false remorse of, oh, I didn't mean it. They may say that they're sorry without really meaning that they really are sorry, just in order for you to then come back to them. So then the abuse cycle can repeat again from the beginning. Another way they can use this is to make you feel at fault for something because you were the one who bought into the lies in the first place. I see that quite a lot with my clients, where they feel like they're trying so hard. They're like the hamster on the wheel who's constantly spinning and doing everything and anything they can to salvage the relationship, giving more of themselves than ever. And it's not only never good enough, but the treatment gets worse. They're treated with no respect. They're treated like trash, essentially. And what happens in the mind of the narcissist or the abuser is, which most abusers are narcissists, let's face it, because it's all about them. What happens in their mind is they feel like, well, you keep coming back for more, you keep believing the lies, then it's your fault, you deserve to be treated this way. Again, it's a form of covert blame. And, if you've been exposed to that, if you've been re-victimized over and over again over the years of being with a person like this, it can create this kind of a layered cake of deception effect, and it can get pretty difficult to untangle, especially initially when you're trying to kind of sort through the mess. However, if you know what you're looking for, you can begin to see the pattern, and it tends to replicate and repeat in many different scenarios. So why do they do this? Well, of course, they want to hide their intentions. Again, as I mentioned in the first video, put you on the defensive, make you buy into their reality. Ultimately, they also want to sway you away from building healthy habits, developing behaviors that anchor you in reality, and pull you away from the fantasy that they're trying to, veil your vision with. Of something that isn't real, but they want you to believe in their version because it's a pretty version, but it's not real. But it allows them to continue getting away with mistreatment, with abusing you, with manipulating you, with getting what they want without being fair to you. And oftentimes, this form of manipulation comes up when you express your needs or you begin to questioning them. An example that I hear quite often is, for instance, if one of the partners finds out that the other one is, say, texting their ex, and either whether they have reasons to look into their phone, or they accidentally notice it laying on the table and there's a text, and then they look at it and it just unravels this whole thread of deception. And when they bring that up, and they bring up their needs for honesty and truth and being treated with respect, and they question their behavior, they can be faced with an argument such as, this happened because there's no trust in the relationship. You don't trust them because you're checking their phone. So they're completely going to flip this upside down, and they'll say that the reason why they're texting their ex is because you don't trust them. So it's it becomes like this circular argument that is, it makes absolutely no sense, and makes you not pay attention to what they're doing, but instead makes you look at what you just did. And make you feel bad because you have conscience. So, remember, as I mentioned in the previous video, rather, asking for your needs and questioning reality is a really healthy thing to do. It's something that if you've been in this kind of relationship, you're going to have to unlearn in your healing process in order to then get into a healthy relationship, because not asking for your needs is kind of like giving free pass to a narcissist to do with you as you please. So you got to be very clear and clean right up front about what it is that you expect, what it is that you need from another person, first and foremost with yourself, and then be able to give that to yourself as much as you can, but then also carry that into the future relationship. One thing that I absolutely disagree with is that you should be, giving everything to yourself always, and that's it, like that end of game. That is true, but it's not the end of the story. When you're in a relationship with somebody, relationships are about exchanges. One person has something the other person needs, and vice versa, and there's an exchange, and it's in that beautiful exchange that we create intimacy. So it is really important that you get very comfortable with knowing what it is that you need, whether it's, love, which makes sense in the relationship. We need love, we need validation, we need truth, we need positive emotions, and so on and so forth. So you need to get really clear about that, and then practice this within yourself, so that when you get into another relationship and those needs aren't being met, you can voice that. And if they're continually not being met, then you know that you're dealing with somebody who is either emotionally shut down, can give it to you, or perhaps they're a narcissist. Perhaps you just uncovered someone who is not going to be healthy for you in the long run. So learn to honor your needs, learn to honor yourself. For narcissists, it's always about them. First and foremost, it's a relationship of one. And figuring out that you've been covertly blamed is one way to be able to discern that you're dealing with one of them. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'm going to bring you soon video number 3. Take care. Bye.